Please welcome to the stage to deliver why vultures are awesome, Nicki Dardinger.
Great, thank you. So typically when people tell me, or after I tell people that I think vultures are amazing, I'm met with remarks like, oh, those birds, they are so ugly, or, oh, those birds are disgusting. What I'm hoping to share with you guys today is to hopefully change your mindset and maybe convince you that bald actually can be beautiful, that vultures really are awesome, and they play a really important role in the natural world. So across our planet, cultures are really different. So unlike our culture, there are some cultures across the world that really, these birds are incredibly important. So these birds were important to back in Egyptian times, in Egyptian mythology, in Hindu mythology, and also play a really crucial role in Tibetan Buddhist, their sky burial ceremonies. So just to give you an idea of what we're talking about when we're talking about vultures, there are 23 species of vultures in the world, 7 of them here in the New World, the other 16 in the Old World, and interestingly, these two groups of vultures are not very closely related. They've evolved separately to be nature's cleanup group. So I want to talk to you about the 2 vultures that we have here in North Carolina and use them to talk about some of their really awesome adaptations. So this is Sadie, a turkey vulture, and after you get past her kind of unique coloring, you might notice that she doesn't have any feathers on her head. This is a black vulture. This is really important for these birds who stick their entire heads inside of dead animals, and when they pull them back out, they don't want to have to clean off all of their feathers. So this bald head is really, really important. Vultures also have incredibly powerful digestive systems. So again, they're eating kind of these gross animals. These birds are able to process bacteria, infectious disease agents, things like anthrax and botulism, and effectively remove them from the environment, which is really important. So birds like the turkey vulture are really unique among birds. Most birds do not have much ability to smell, but turkey vultures have an extremely well-developed sense of smell. And when you see them soaring overhead, they are able to use that sense of smell to locate their next meal, even when they can't see it. Finally, vultures are really smart. They're one of the most fun birds to work with in captivity because they're so fun to train. And this is a painting that was done by Clementi, a black vulture at Carolina Raptor Center, who was trained to walk through paint and then walk on a canvas. So very cool. So while all these adaptations are really awesome and really important, what makes these birds really special is their role in the natural world. So they really are nature's cleanup crew, working with other animals to break down carcasses and dead animals. Well, unfortunately, we've started to learn what happens when vultures aren't around, why these birds are so important. So species like white-rumped vultures and other species in Africa, India, and Southeast Asia, some of these species have seen population declines of up to 99% over the last 20 years. It's taken scientists a long time to figure out what caused this. It turns out that it's a drug that's widely administered to cattle and livestock across these regions. And for birds, dead livestock is one of their main sources of food. So they come in and they eat these dead animals, and unfortunately they're not able to process those, that drug, and it kills the bird. So what happens when you don't have vultures? Well, when you don't have vultures, other scavengers come in to take their place, animals like dogs. Well, when you have more dogs, you have more rabies. And when you have more rabies, you have more people getting rabies, which is one of the things we're seeing across India, as well as increases in some other diseases that typically these birds would remove from the environment. So that's all great, but what about here in the United States, when we have a little bit of a different situation? Well, many people are familiar with the California condor and their story. We unfortunately are at risk of losing our largest vulture. These birds can weigh up to 20 pounds. They live up to 60 years. At one time, there were only 22 of these birds left, largely due to habitat loss and persecution. 22 is just not very many. So over the last several decades, we've been working really hard to try and increase these birds' numbers. Today, we're right at about 400, which is better, but still not great. Only about 200 of those birds are out in the wild, and unfortunately, they face a lot of problems. There are a lot of things that we do as people that make it really hard for vultures to survive. These birds fly into power lines, they're exposed to pesticides, and one of the most important things right now is that they are suffering from lead toxicity. So carcasses from hunters end up left on the ground, they have lead shot in them, these birds come and eat them, doing what they do best, cleaning up dead animals, and unfortunately that lead kills them pretty quickly. So what are people doing? Well, fortunately, around the world, people are working really hard to share the stories of vultures, to help inspire people, help them understand why these birds are so great and so important. I'm not the only one that thinks they're awesome, which is great. And I hope that as you guys leave today, that you take a moment to unplug, go outside, take a walk in the woods, and when you guys look up at the sky and see a vulture soaring, or see a vulture on a telephone pole, or even on the side of the road, that instead of thinking, oh, that bird is so disgusting, instead you think, yes, fall can be beautiful, and vultures really are awesome. So thank you.